and acupuncture and sauna and LED and acupressure.
It's a lot of information.
It's a lot of information, but it is. And I think the new word that I didn't know was another one called edible skincare, which is looking at from the nutrients. Now we're not just looking at nutrients in the whole body, but what's in our skincare products. What kinds of seed oils are in there? Like we have this whole nother expansion of what's going to be happening, I think, coming up too, in regards to specific ingredients and what they do and how they can help. And so that is a wonderful thing. And that's very exciting because I like that kind of stuff.
Yeah. Well, that's been around a long time. Nobody's been paying attention to it. I've paid attention to it with my products and nobody pays attention to that. And
you've done a great job here, which is where I can also, we've got this and this, with supplements and other services.
We have adjunctive therapies that we can offer people.
Yes.
But you don't necessarily, you could still be a one-woman shop and you can still learn all these things and get resources, go out and knock on the door, open your horizons to a community outside of yours. When you do that, if you go meet the like somebody knocks on my door and she's like, I do acupuncture down the street. I would like to work with you. Well, okay, let's go to lunch. Let's figure it out. We have a connection. We could do referral. These are things that estheticians, these are things I did, guys. I used to go knock on doors and walk into offices and say, hi, I'm an esthetician. I do skin. I have a little place. And I was wondering if maybe we could work together. And I'd like to learn about what you do. And that's how I made a lot of my medical connections to help me grow. And I learned a lot and got self-educated and I grew from that. And one of the things that I've really seen with you guys here is that as we've always done longevity here. So longevity is not a new word for us here. It's just, we were used holistic. There's been different words that have been used, but now longevity seems to be the word. So I'm going to use it.
Absolutely.
We have really, I've watched you guys step out of your space and you want to learn about this world. And now you're partaking in it. And to see the changes that you guys have made in your lives and in your health, not that you guys were unhealthy, but so, so subjective. So we, Dr. Karen and I at our spa here, we have implemented a longevity protocol program, and our test dummies,
our junkies,
test dummies, were the girls in the office. Now there's 3 of them here, but there's more of them that partake in the junkiness. But that's the new junkie, right? Peptide junkie,
The wellnessness.
The wellnessness. Yeah. So peptides, other modalities. There's tons of other adjunctive therapies that you can do. But it is an individualized space. And I just have watched how when you guys have taken on the knowledge and been willing to learn it, I've watched what happens with your clients. They are you think you guys are they're like worshiping to you guys. You guys have like some sort of knowledge that they want to suck in. And it's really cool to see. And that's what I'm talking about with you providers out there, or you nurses or estheticians. It's fun to get educated in other things because you bring so much more to the whole person, and you better move into this direction because this is where it's going. If you're lashing all day, boy, you better know stuff. They're telling you intimate things, even about their health. And if you can help them with that, that's amazing. So we'll share a little bit about what's going on here and what we're doing. I am getting ready to release a course. Christy has a cough over there. Let's get the cough over.
But remember, we're okay with coughs now.
We're okay with coughs now.
Yes. The more I'm trying not to. Sorry, the more I want to. Okay.
So we're getting ready to launch a course, a patient-based course on Longevity 101, and where we'll be discussing, I have different lessons. We'll be discussing actionable skills, where it starts, metabolism. We'll talk about all things from GLPs to peptides. The most important thing is microdosing and finding the right provider, because there's a lot of minutia out there. But let's finish today a little bit with that, with starting, Renee, telling your journey about what you went through with your health and how you feel you've made a huge transition and a change through thinking about the functionality of the body differently.
Well, I was not knowing it at the time, but now that I look back, I think 7 years easily where I was metabolically now unstable, now that I know what the meaning of it is. But there were definitely signs. And I want to live as long as I can in a very healthy manner, like what we talked about as well. I want to be a yaya. I want to be a yaya with my grandbaby someday. And
Renee's Greek, and she's a yaya. She wants to be a yaya.
And we went to Greece, which is one of the islands is one of my family's from, is one of the blue zones. And I've been looking at longevity, living to 100, and why. And then this just really hit home. The timing could not have been more perfect, because I hadn't been feeling well, especially the last year, having major gut issues, needing to make some changes, and wanting that path. To
you
health.
had SIBO.
SIBO.
So you had SIBO going on?
There was a menopause. I mean, there's a long list, and it all happened at the same time, but it just really came to a head this last year. And this came at like the most perfect time for me. And that is why I got into it. I did not get into it for the weight loss. That was a little added extra for me, and the gaining the strength, but mostly because the energy, which I'm not as in tune as the rest of us, but that was the first thing I noticed, was the energy. And then just the healing. Like, I didn't have to manage symptoms anymore. They were actually healing what's going on. And it's not 100%. I'm still in that journey, and I'm willing to go through it. And there's been ups and downs, but for the most part, it's been pretty easy. And I'm gaining strength, clarity, like focus that I haven't had in a long time. So there's other
Do you
things.
think you could do this by yourself, or do you think this would...
I mean, by myself.
Online, just buy some stuff and
No.
do this.
I mean, I've spent time and money with a naturopath as well.
Yeah,
And
she's
I have a
fantastic,
wonderful acupuncturist, as I have a great team of people. But this is the next piece of the puzzle to really get me to layering, to get me to that next where I needed to go. I was this close to kind of how I felt like, okay, we're getting down to some good answers, and I'm going to be in a really optimum space. But this has really helped get me to that next level mentally too.
Yeah. Mental clarity.
Mentally. And the excitement.
Well, what's your favorite drug, meth or oxy?
Well, I'm let's careful how we say that, because they're the two words out of content. So for clarification, I'm new to the oxy in this form, which is oxytocin. I'm new to it, but I'm absolutely loving it. And the methylated blue.
Methylene blue.
Methylene blue. Excuse me. I instantly noticed it, and I did the combo, because I don't listen to directions very often. I don't follow directions, but I did, and I did it with the sauna once, as well as the infrared, and it catapulted it. But unlike Melissa Brave over here, I do not put a blue tongue on film. Not yet. It was enough to get me here, and I have a mic, so.
Okay, Melissa, what's been this all came together for all these girls. It's so funny. So what became your longevity journey, and how long has it been going on, and what type of things have you seen move the needle?
Oh, gosh. My longevity plan has been going on for a while. I used to definitely partake in a lot of partying in my 20s a long time ago. And since then, I eliminated all of my vices, except for I had not eliminated my ADHD medication, which was probably worse than anything I'd ever consumed and put in my body, because my brain I don't even need a television, because my brain is like an entertainment center. It's like always firing, and it's so good.
Love it.
And I never,
you all can relate.
I love it. I never thought that I would be able to get off of my meds because of that. I was afraid to work. I was afraid to come to work without taking it.
I was afraid of you sometimes when you came.
Yeah, it's like, you know, it was so crazy. It really was. And I just didn't realize how bad it was making me feel because you get so used to it. It was 12 years of it until I decided to get off of it cold turkey. Well, what happened was you're not supposed to do that, but you know, ADHD, I'm impulsive.
Please get your doctor's
advice from doctor. And I did that and then quickly realized that my receptors were tanked. They were non-existent. My dopamine didn't even exist anymore. And when you told me about the studies with peptides and them helping you get back to your dopamine
very
baseline,
low dosing.
With low dosing, exactly. I thought, why not? Let's give it a try. I trust you and Dr. Karen. And I immediately, the first shot was like as if someone turned my brain on. And I felt so good.
But you were also on another peptide, an oral peptide prior.
The BPC 157 was the week before. Yes. And even with that, it was like immediately I felt so much better. I even texted you. I was like, oh my gosh, this feels like I took Adderall, but way better because I don't have like I don't have the zombiness, the weirdness, or that like rebound hunger. Yeah, I was so depleted.
Of tissue regeneration. Yeah,
totally. And so, I mean, and then after the first shot, I immediately felt better. And now I have a regimen, you know, now I'm back at the gym because I'm doing the weights. I'm doing what you suggested that we need to do as well. I take the BPC, I do the methylene blue, and the oxytocin. Oh my God. If I could just take like 10 of those a day, I'd be so happy because that's how it makes me feel. I'm like hard eyes. I'm like, oh, hi. Hard. It even gives me a higher pitch. Hi. So all of this together has just been absolutely amazing. I mean, I feel like a different person.
And you went from being a vegetarian now to...
Yes. That was a really funny thing because after the first shot was when I woke up one morning. I was like, oh my God, I need a steak more than I need anything right now. I'm like, why am I saying this? And I'm not the type of person that will deny my body what it's asking for. So I ate meat and I feel fabulous. It has been 7 years since I stopped eating meat and I feel so great with all the other stuff that we're doing. It's just, I can't thank you enough because nothing's as good as feeling great, you know?
Yeah.
Really, health is wealth. I mean, it's so important. If you don't have your health, you don't got anything.
Yeah.
So it's just been a great journey. And thank you.
Oh,
thank you.
I love watching it. Yeah. I love watching it. It's been great. And there's a lot more to both of your guys' plans than what we talked about. But those are fun things that people are trending right now about. But you always need to have a healthcare provider to run you through that.
Sure.
And hands-on. A lot of people are doing this. Providers, I find this very toxic. Saying they're microdosing, saying they're treating patients, telemed. I feel like especially in all three of your cases, your provider needs to be real hands-on. You need to touch, feel, know. Nobody has the same dose. All three of you guys are on something different with everything. Yeah. And it really is that weekly communication and contact that you need. So always check with your provider first before you do any of these things that we're talking about for your health.
Hi, everybody. This episode is sponsored by Pretty Girl Cosmeceuticals. These products are the best. If you're not using them, you need to use them. You can contact JKH Aesthetics anytime, and we will give you a consultation about how to use these amazing products. We have Glow Girl and Ice Drops. These will keep you young, healthy, and glowing every day of the week. And now, back to the episode.
And now Christy's journey.
Okay. Longevity. I love that word.
A few weeks late to the party.
Yeah, a few weeks late
She
to the
couldn't get
party.
her labs done.
Yeah, couldn't get my labs done. Couldn't figure that out. And I have not taken the oxytocin yet, but I plan to. I think that for me, I've always been on a journey of longevity. Like, I love that word. I feel like something different that happened. I'm always trying to like take care of myself and stuff. I'm an 80-20 rule though. I'm like fabulous until 4 p.m. And then I turn into a toddler. Too much this, too much that, whatever. But that's just who I am. It's okay. But I always like want to work out and I try new things. You know, I'm very like, yes, teach me. I'm very teachable. But I did hear a lot of red lights around peptides for a lot. Nothing that I would ever consider doing. And I know that was your initial reaction.
Breaks on.
The thing that I really have loved about your approach was that you were like, no, that sounds alarming. That's not right. And then you go deep dive. Like you went deep, you paid for education, you went in, like you figured it out. And then you came out of that and then brought us a solution where it's actually not, peptides are actually not bad. They're actually good. And it's kind of like being involved, and I get the privilege of that because I work here, but it's like coming behind the curtain. Like we only see out there, don't do this, don't do that. But because you're so educated on things, like you take the time to learn and then you bring it to, which is like, again, to the point of the personal, you're very like, what do you need? And then we have to go get our labs taken. And then you're going to look at it based on the education. So that's what made me like trust the whole thing, is learning about it and you teaching me, because I'm not going to go study all that. I'm just going to be like, oh, that looks dangerous. I'm not doing that. Or that looks, you hear the bad reports. That's what you hear. But I didn't hear the solution. I appreciate you doing that. Not just for your clientele, but us having the opportunity to be part of that new process. And yeah, I mean, I would say I was definitely a candidate for all of the things. I would say that because I do want to take care of myself, I want to be in the best shape of my life. I want to be able to work 12-hour days if I want to. I want to be able to feel my best. That it's kind of like a superwoman. I feel like a superwoman on it,
Yeah. Well, and even Christy, I may share.
Yeah.
Even Dr. Karen and I, when we looked at your labs, your hormones were off.
Yeah, my hormones. And I'm
those
super cautious about my hormones. Like I am
Those needed to
someone
be
who
tweaked.
pays attention to getting my hormones checked and
You
wants
already
to feel
are
my
in that,
best.
yeah.
Yeah, I'm already went through all that. So I want to optimize. I didn't even have vitamin D. You're like, your vitamin D is plummeted. I'm like, really? What does that mean? I mean, teach me. I'm like, okay. Just because we all are doing our thing, we're trying, whatever. I'm not a huge supplement taker, but now I take my vitamin D every single night because you talked me through it, you educated me on it, and then it made sense to me, so I changed it. I just think I've
Knowledge
enjoyed
is power.
Exactly. And for me, that is so true. Like if you tell me how important vitamin D is with K, I'm taking it. I haven't missed a night since, and you have it
And
here.
why K is important.
And why
like
K is
knowing
important.
these things.
Yeah. So it really helps to have someone read your blood work that knows what they're talking about and is going to help you elevate that and then check it in 3 months. So the personal care on it. But other than that, just being on the peptides, being on the BPC, I call it the red pill. Yeah. And then I don't want a blue tongue, so I take it orally. I feel
Christy
great.
doesn't want a blue tongue.
No, I don't want a
not
blue
our
tongue.
girl
I'm like, I
that
don't have
wants
time for that every day. Hi, I have big teeth.
Yeah, it's not just the tongue.
Yeah,
it's the teeth.
it's the teeth.
It's the teeth too. Jeez.
But I feel great. I feel elevated in my position. It's not like I don't care about taking care of myself. I do, but I just feel everything I want to do is a little easier. And that's how you explained it on your education night. It's like someone going behind you, you're learning to ride a bike. Like for me, I'm still going to eat the cookies, but I don't eat 6.
Yeah.
I wanted to take this process real life. I eat cookies. Okay. I eat licorice. I drink alcohol. I do all these things, but it's just like, I didn't eat the 6.
Yeah.
I ate 2.
And that's, and we
that's
talk
real.
about it in the course. And I talk to you guys about it. It's that hedonic urge.
I love that word.
To calm down. And you get that with all peptides, but you get that with just mindfulness too. The more mindful and satisfied you are with your life, I tell everybody, get rid of the bad shit in your life. If you got a asshole boss, if you got a shitty husband or a shitty wife, X them.
But it does
They're not
help.
helping you.
It does. I mean, I will say, like, real life, it has helped me make better decisions that I wanted to make, but I just had cravings or the hedonic urge, as like says it all. And I feel like in result of me being able to be like, I'm good with 2. Like, I don't need 5 tacos.
Yeah.
2's good.
You know,
whatever.
The whole pizza doesn't work anymore. Half
Yeah,
is
it
good.
doesn't. And it actually is like real because no one's watching me. I would say that is the result of me losing a few pounds or whatever that I wanted to.
And not wasting away.
Not crazy. Not
Like
that,
we're seeing with
definitely not.
Ozempic.
yeah.
And to be clear, I'm going to do a little mini education before we end here, but I'd like to share with most people because I think the girls didn't even know this originally. Now you guys know it. Ozempic and Mounjaro, even though they are weight loss medications, they are not medications. They are a peptide that is inside the pen that Ozempic, those drug companies decided to formulate and have patented a pen that disperses medication or a peptide into your body. And that's what they have the patent on. That is what you're taking is not a drug. It is a peptide. And it costs a lot of money. And for the majority of the population, the dose is way too high.
Right.
So I fear a lot of people, I already see it, we blow out what's called receptors. Melissa was talking about those. And once that's done, you're wasting your time with taking this stuff. So find a provider that truly understands this knowledge and can empower it. Don't do it online. That's just what I would say. I'd find somebody who knows what they're talking about and make a relationship with this person and walk through your longevity journey. And there are plenty of people that I know that I'm part of a group of that are dialed in and understand how this process works. But for you estheticians, now that we're reining it back as estheticians, you guys have hands-on to people's bodies. You know what they need. You know they're imbalanced, and you see it in their skin. And getting educated and knowledgeable about longevity and teaching your patient, they will never leave you. They will trust you. You have a deeper understanding. You can educate them. You can clear up their skin this way too. I mean, I'm looking at doing a little mini trial here in the office on acne and microdosing certain peptides. So to try to clear up skin, because I've seen it. It's crazy. So get yourself educated, learn. Just because you don't have a license to do it doesn't mean you can't learn it, right? Look outside of everything. Learn about, if you do facials, learn about waxing. Learn about, find a great waxer. Find out what she uses, find out why she uses it, find out why she thinks it's important, and then get together with her. Do the same thing with lashing, do the same thing with PMU. Boy, build yourself a little mini community because that's what's that word we're looking at now that you said? Niche. Niche.
But I will say too, like you have started Beauty Outlaw for this very reason, like such an education-based podcast for the industry to like branch out on topics that I would never branch out on. So like, I love that too, that you have stepped out. And if you want to learn about peptides, you have a peptide one coming up. If you want to know about this, if you want to know about CBD in the industry,
That's a
it's
game
education.
changer company.
I agree.
I mean, they're making
100%.
moves and steps. Dr. Azza, exosomes. I mean, the world is crazy where it's going, and it's moving fast. And you just got to just glitch on to people. You suck their energy, you suck their information, and take it from them.
Yeah, or listen to the Beauty Outlaw full
or
time.
listen to the Beauty Outlaw. Not that we're giving a lot of, I know it's not a deep dive, but there are courses out there that you can take. There are things that you can do to open your knowledge in this industry, because longevity, I love an esthetician because you truly are the pulse and the beginning of the longevity pyramid. Your connection with your client, as you call them, or your patient, that's a lot of trust right there. It's hard to take your makeup off and lay in front of somebody. It's hard to be vulnerable to somebody that's doing your intimate waxing. It's hard to be vulnerable, you know, to getting your lashes done. You're just stuck.
Yeah.
Especially with lashes.
With their eyes taped shut.
With their eyes. I mean, they're stuck. They're stuck with you. You're going to learn a lot about them. And there's that connection. And you have so much power. And that's what I want the newbies, and I want you guys to understand, or even if you've been doing this 20 years, you're like, what the hell am I doing? Things are changing and I can't keep up. Don't feel bad because you're learning other things, because you have so much to offer at your table. Behind the chair, man. You touch somebody, that's power. So take on that power with education and knowledge, and it can look whatever way you want it to look. Nowadays, you can get a lot of it for free. Go on and get educated, because the minute all that education and knowledge comes through your magic hands when you touch somebody.
That's good.
And then you have power over them, not in a bad way, in a wonderful, beautiful wellness longevity way. And I think that's a great way to end it.
Yeah.
Anybody have anything they want to say?
I'm going to add one thing.
All right. I think it's great.
Renee.
See you next year.
I would not have. I was a solo esthetician for a long time in salons, which was wonderful because it was feeding my business. But I had a deep dive too on, I did get complacent, and I did not always have a team of people that were just, you know, in the same industry. Yeah. So knowledge is definitely power. But what I really appreciate and have is that I'm not too old to stop learning and educating myself. And I have, even though I have a wonderful team of people, I still have to keep that going for topics like AI that are not my area specialty in this industry. So my thing is, and you ladies said it earlier, showing up. My advice to a new esthetician is, even if you're sitting there doing nothing, you spend a 40-hour week, if that's what it is, and you only have 5 hours of clients, and 35 of it goes back into yourself, goes back into your career, goes back into what you love. I've been able to make a career out of this.
That's right.
Love it. So
these ladies all make a career out of it, which I think is fantastic. You stayed in your world of being an esthetician, and she's a damn good esthetician. If you've ever not had your hands laid on her, that's magic right there. So good luck getting in with her, but you can try. Melissa, unbelievable. She's also a powerhouse here. Melissa, you can tell by meeting her from the last 2 episodes, she's not going to be the one that's going to have 2,000 million followers on Instagram. She's very humble, and she very much takes a back seat. She loves what she does, and she is sought at, and it's hard to get into her. That's skill, though. That's perseverance. She make all these ladies, I don't want to say make a lot of money, but what I want to say is that they've made a career out of that license as an esthetician, and that's empowering. Christy, she's transitioned into, she's like me. She's like moves into different transitions. She starts with lashing, had to go back to school, and then she became a PMU artist. So now she does brows, and she does freaking fabulous brows. So go to her website and look, or her Instagram, and look at that, because they're incredible. And
thank you.
She's transitioning even to more things with her passion. So I just think you guys are great, and you know I love you guys, and I want everybody to get some insight into the real world life of what it's like being an esthetician on the other side. And I love that what we've given the girls here, or who's ever watching, if you're my dad, because I know my dad watches.
Hi, Dad.
Hi, Ron.
Keep the plasticity of your brain moving. You have to keep it moving. You have to learn and expand your brain, or it's going to just shrink up. You want to be viable, and you want to be talking to your grandchildren at 85 and know more than they do about everything.
Yeah.
That's the grandma I want to be.
Yeah.
So live your best life, live your strongest life, do your passion, but don't think your passion will do you. You have to work your passion. It doesn't just come magically. And I hear that a lot it's my passion. It doesn't happen like that. You have to make your passion work for you. And that's sacrifice. So thank you again for celebrating our 1-year anniversary where we rambled and rambled and rambled.
Congratulations, Beauty Outlaw.
Yeah,
And to the original Beauty Outlaws. And the term came from this one right here in the middle because we were during COVID and we were in and out and we had all these controls. Remember, we had all these controls.
Yep.
Yeah.
And Melissa said, well, we're just the Beauty Outlaws. And I'm like, I love that name.
Love it.
So I stole it from her, and now it's the Beauty Outlaw Podcast. So thanks for being here, and thanks for spending a year with us. If you have, check out the first episode of Esthetician Diaries, and stay tuned. And please, 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 I have to say this now. You got to like and subscribe, I guess, because if you don't like it, the algorithm thing, I know all this stuff actually, but the algorithm thing doesn't work. So I need you to make a comment, say something, say, yay, I love Melissa, whatever, make a comment. But anyways, thank you very much. And thanks for spending this hour and something with us. Yeah. Chin chin.
Thank you.
Chin chin. Chin chin. Beauty Outlaws.
Straight fine.
Peace out. See you on the next episode.